Hey gamers, welcome back to the Barrister's Backlog. This video is going to be a little bit different. Instead of doing a review, we're going to take a look at my game collection today. Maybe not be as large as some of the YouTubers you see on here, but it's a game collection I'm kind of proud of, so let's get started. We're going to start out with the portable and older PlayStation games here. We've got some PS1 titles, some of my personal favorites like Assault Retribution, a run and gun set in a sci-fi setting. It's pretty cool. We might do a review on that a little bit later. Driver and Driver 2 is there as well, which if you know anything about the opening stage of that game, you know, getting through the tutorial is about the hardest part of the game. Of course, there's also a copy of Metal Gear Solid there as well. So I got some PSP games, some of my favorites there. We got Mega Man X Maverick Hunter, and then the Metal Gear Acid game. Still need to find Acid 2, but these are very underappreciated card battle games set in the Metal Gear universe. We got the digital graphic novel, which we might do a review on later. Just spoiler alert, I didn't care for it. Then we have Portable Ops and Portable Ops Plus, Ratchet & Clank Size Matters, which is coming to PlayStation Plus here shortly, and Secret Agent Clank, which is actually sealed. Got some Vita titles here as well. We got Little Big Planet, Muramasa Blade Rebirth, which is a remake of a game released on the Wii, Uncharted, and Undertale, an absolute classic. And that is a box PSP. It's not sealed, but it is a PSP in the box. We're going to go over here to some older titles for the GameCube and the Wii. We got some classics there on the GameCube, looking at Twilight Princess, The Wind Waker, of course, Twin Snakes, one of my personal favorite Metal Gear games, totally underappreciated. Got Metroid Prime, Coliseum, and XD Gale of Darkness, and Yu-Gi-Oh! The False-Bound Kingdom, which is a super unappreciated Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. And we got some Wii games here as well. Got The Conduit, one of my personal favorite shooters on the Wii. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, also a fantastic fighter. Epic Mickey, which is getting a remake on the Switch here shortly. The Twilight Princess release of Wii. Mad World, which if you have not played, you absolutely should, is a crazy black and white and red action-adventure combat game on the Wii. Other M, which I know some of you do not care for. Prime 3 and the Prime Trilogy that released on Wii. Pokemon Battle Revolution, Pokepark, Wii, Pikachu's Adventure. Pokepark 2, a classic Punch-Out. Spectrobes, which is a cool Pokemon-esque game that came out on the DS, and then a third game came out on the Wii. We got the limited edition for Super Mario All-Stars Super Paper Mario, which you may or may not like, Transformer game, and then Wii Sports Resort, an absolute classic for the Wii. Now we're going to transition over to my PS2 collection here. Now we do have some classics here as well, like the Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3, which is my favorite Metal Gear game. Got Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, Rechain of Memories as well. The original Budokai Tenkaichi, a couple Naruto games, and then Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal, which is my favorite Ratchet & Clank game. Of course, there's a classic Soul Calibur 3 here as well, and some Tony Hawk Underground, which if you missed out on those, I think they're well worth playing. Go down here to my very small PS3 collection, along with kind of like a shrine to BioShock, one of my favorite series here. Got BioShock, BioShock 2, and then the Ultimate Rapture Edition, which includes a digital version of BioShock 1 along with the BioShock 2 on the disc, and then BioShock Infinite, which is one of my favorite games with the Brady Games guide in the background there and the BioShock Infinite art book over to the side. Got God of War Ascension plus the God of War Collection, Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection, which was something I absolutely had to have. It comes with a cool art book and has all of the games up to Metal Gear Solid 3 on the cart there. Metal Gear Solid 4, Ratchet & Clank Collection for PS3, Ratchet & Clank Future, all for one, and then that's the Yakuza Dead Souls there, which is a shooter spinoff for the Yakuza titles, and is actually pretty good, but that one's sealed, so not going to be opening that anytime soon, because if you don't know, it is a pricey game. We also have my Vita there, which is in that case, I haven't played it in a little while, but yep, got a Vita there. And if you don't have a Vita, you're missing out. I'm going to scroll on down to the PS4 titles, which are a lot more than my PS3. All these are, of course, in alphabetical order if you haven't figured that out yet. So first we've got 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, which if you haven't played that, you absolutely should. It is very hard to describe, but kind of like a visual novel with some strategy RPG elements set in a sci-fi futuristic setting. Look out for a review of that coming up. Got the BioShock Collection, Chris Tales, which if you got the PS5 version, play that. The loading screens for the PS4 and Switch versions are a little rough, but it's a decent turn-based RPG. Devil May Cry collection there with DMC5 as well. Doom Eternal, one of my favorite first-person shooter games. Dragon Quest XI, which if you haven't played, you absolutely should. Got Dragon Ball Xenoverse along with the Steelbook, and then Xenoverse 2. Ghost of Tsushima, which if you haven't played that, you definitely should. It's now out on PC and has a PS5 upgrade. It's a fantastic samurai game. God of War 3 Remastered and Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5. And then we've got 2.8 back there along with Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Steelbook. You're going to see we got Like a Dragon, Yakuza Like a Dragon, my absolute favorite Yakuza game, representing my boy Ichiban. That's the Day 1 Ichi edition, which includes the Steelbook, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, Phantom Pain, the Definitive Edition, and the Metal Gear Survive, which we don't talk about that one. We got Nier Replicant, Nier Automata there as well. Okami HD, which is somehow the PEGI version. I don't know how I ended up with it, but got the Order 1886 back there, which if you haven't played that, you should give it a shot. It's a short 8-9 hour game, but a pretty solid story. Persona 5 Striker, Shin Megami Tensei 3, Shadow of the Colossus, which is a review on this channel. You should check it out. Terminator Resistance, which was a lot better than I thought. We'll have a review of that coming up soon. Then the Uncharted games that are on PS4. Played all of those, got the platinum for each. They're all fantastic, highly recommend. And then my Yakuza collection there, of course, Yakuza 0, Kiwami, Kiwami 2, the remastered collection, and then Yakuza 6. And if you know anything about me, you know those are some of my favorite games ever. So give those a shot. Going down to the PS5, a smaller collection, but still pretty good games here. We got the Horizon Forbidden West Special Edition, which includes a really cool art book. Death Stranding, Final Fantasy 16, which is a fantastic game. Don't knock it till you try it. God of War Ragnarok there, Guardians of the Galaxy, Judgment, then Infinite Wealth. Ishin, along with the Ishin Steelbook, Lost Judgment, the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection 1, which is a great compilation of all the old MGS games, so pick that up if you get the chance. Octopath Traveler 2, probably one of my game of the years back for 2023. It's a old HD 2D turn-based style game. You definitely give that a shot. P3R and P5R. And then in the back we've got Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which is one of the reasons I ended up buying a PS5 in the first place. RE4 Remake, Miles Morales, Jedi Survivor, Sandland, which look out for a review for that coming up shortly. Kinda blew me away there. Really good game. Star Ocean, the Second Story R, I need to play that. System Shock, if you know anything about System Shock, you know it's kind of the reason Bioshock exists. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and then of course my PS5 copy of Like a Dragon, because you know I need more Ichi in my life. Also back there is the limited edition PS5 Spider-Man controller, which is unopened, sealed in the box. I can't bring myself to open it. Going down here, we're going to see my Metal Gear Rising Revengeance limited edition. Thanks to my best friend, he picked me that up in Japan. It has the figure arts figure in there as well of Raiden. We got the God of War Ragnarok limited edition PS5 controller, which I also haven't taken out of the box. And then my God of War Ragnarok art book, which is great. Now we're going to go in here to the start of my Pokemon collection, along with some older titles. We've got Pokemon Stadium 2 there, Snap in the box, along with Hey You Pikachu with the microphone and everything. Haven't played those. I don't have a 64, but I'm trying to get all the Pokemon games. So also got some other collectibles like my Golden Charizard, Golden Pikachu, and Mewtwo Nendroid up there. Gonna go over to the SNES now. We got an SNES controller on an awesome stand from Rose Color Gaming. Link in the description for those if you want to pick them up. Also got the Super NES controller box there that I picked up at a local swap meet. Got some of my favorite Super Nintendo games on display. Mega Man X. Also in the back there's a Mega Man X I Am 8-Bit Special Edition back there. Then Knights of the Round, old school beat 'em up type game, but more set with King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, things like that. And of course Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, one of my personal favorite games of all time. And then my favorite Mario game, there's actually complete in the box Super Mario Bros. 3 for the NES. Then you're gonna see also a complete in box copy of Killer Instinct back there, my favorite fighting game of all time. Now we're going to go down here to my main Pokemon collection with a lot of my grails in the box, I suppose. We've got Pokemon Red and Blue in the box, Fire Red Leaf Green complete in the box, and then my copies of Crystal, Silver, Gold, and Pokemon Yellow, along with my special edition Pokemon Yellow Game Boy Color, and my Red Nendroid there, just hanging out. You're gonna see Pokemon Pinball back there in the back, along with the Japanese-only Pokemon trading card game GR, which is the second game of the Pokemon trading card game series, never released here in the West. You can see the Pokemon trading card game complete in the box back there as well. We've got my limited edition Pokeball 2DS and my rebuilt Game Boy Advance with a IPS screen and the black and orange color scheme there. Pokemon Sapphire in the box, Pokemon Ruby in the box, and Pokeball Pinball Ruby and Sapphire in the box, along with my limited edition Giovanni Nendroid from the Rainbow Rocket. Go down here to one of my prized, most prized shelves is my Jak and Daxter collection. If you can't tell, I very much love this series. So you're going to see over here on the left, we've got the PSP version sealed of The Last Frontier, game we don't talk about. Daxter there, the Jak 4 mock-up case from Limited Run, and then Jak 2, 3, and Jak X from the Limited Run. And the back, of course, is all the collector's editions for Jak and Daxter, Jak 2, and Jak X. I actually need the Jak 3 collector's edition from Limited Run, so you have it, let me know. And then of course over here on the right we've got the originals PS2 copies of Jak and Daxter, Jak 2, Jak 3, Jak X, and The Lost Frontier, as well as the Jak and Daxter collection on PS3 and PS Vita. So I think I have almost all of the Jak games their original releases. So of course there's a smattering of the Jak X cars throughout here as well, just on display, make it look cool. Alright, now we're going to drop down to the start of the handhelds here, at least the newer handhelds. We've got a DS over there, along with my DS games. Of course, the classic Pokemon games, you know, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Black, White, Black and White 2, Conquest. Got a Pokewalker there. Got some Professor Layton games in there, as well as some Metroid games. You're going to see Heart Gold and Soul Silver over here in the box, which is very hard to get, very expensive nowadays, a little too much if you ask me. Then we've got the 3DS, which is a large collection of games. 3DS is one of my favorite systems. So we've got Detective Pikachu, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, Fire Emblem Awakening, a lot of gems on here. Mario and Luigi Dream Team, Luigi's Mansion, of course Metal Gear Solid 3D, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater 3D, Metroid Samus Returns, 2DS copy, Pikachu edition there, which is very expensive nowadays. We drop down to the Switch here. We've got my Switch Lite Pokemon Sword and Shield edition, as well as the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons, my Hollow Knight Collector's edition back there as well, sealed, and then a lot of Switch games here, of course, you know, Great Ace Attorney, Advance Wars, Animal Crossing, Detective Pikachu Returns, a lot of Kirby games there, of course my copies of Hades, and a bunch of Mega Man games, and Sea of Stars Collector's edition from Japan, because I just like the art a little bit better. It comes with a CD copy of the soundtrack too, so we've got quite a few back here as well. Quite a few Super Mario games and Xenoblade games and Yoshi games and things like that. Now we're going to drop on down here. We're going to see a lot of my guides. I have quite a few player guides that I try to collect for all the Pokemon games. You're going to see a Sun and Moon there, a Sword and Shield. There's some that goes back far as Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Stadium, Stadium 2, Emerald, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Pokemon Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And then some of my favorites are the Pokemon Black and White collector's editions there. They're hardback and have some special art on the front. And you're going to see one of my sealed Oshawott toys. Of course, we'll see later all of my Oshawott collection. And then got my limited edition OLED switches for the Tears of the Kingdom and Scarlet and Violet, which is my main switch now. Now moving on from games, we're going to get into my Pokemon Plush collection, which is rather large. So this is basically the Pikachu slot here. We've got the Van Gogh Pikachu, Business Pikachu, Special Edition Pikachu from Japan. And behind there you'll see some World's Pikachu as well when it was in Nashville and in DC. Cherry Blossom Pikachu back there too. Dropping down, we got some cute Pokemon here. We've got Eevee from the World Championship in DC. A lot of Vulpix. There's a shiny Mimikyu hiding back there, as well as a very limited edition Primarita. Going on down, you're going to see Blaziken and more Vulpix and more fairy types, really, along with Poltergeist. Get into some sitting cuties here with Groudon, Torterra. We're going to see Giratina back there with Electros way back there and Cofagrigus. At the very bottom here, we'll have Scorbunny and Mawile, Haunch Crow. Ho-Ho's back there as well. And then this is the top shelf. A lot of big plushes here. We've got Guzzlord, which I picked up at the World Championship in 2018, I believe. A Venusaur, Giant Snorlax, Giant Oshawott, Giratina, my original Mewtwo, which is a very old plush. And then we have the 25th anniversary parade here, which came out exclusively on the Pokemon Center, along with all of the costume Pikachus for all of the protagonists from the Pokemon games, Gen 1 through Gen 8, as well as some of the evil team leader Pikachus up top there. And then on the far side, we've got Yveltal and Vulpix from that KFC release of Pokemon plushies, a giant Detective Pikachu, a giant Mimikyu, and of course the giant Appleton here. And yes, he is wearing a Scouter from Dragon Ball Z. Now the final thing of plushies here, we've got the Cyndaquil and my collection of Galar, Meowth, and Berserker, who are probably my second favorite Pokemon right behind Oshawott. We've got Dracovish, Snorlax, and Munchlax collection here, along with Big Golisopod, some of my other favorite Pokemon. And one of my newest additions here is this little Bellibolt that I really like. We've got a Sceptile, Mega Sceptile Plus, as well as a costume Pikachu dressed up like a Hydreigon, one of my other favorite Pokemon, Sleeping Rowlet. And then down here we got Druddigon, a very large Primal Groudon plush, and then a homemade Numel plush there. And then this is the final bit of the video. We're going to look at my large collection of Oshawott merchandise. And this just runs the gambit here. You've got toys and plushies and bobbleheads and little knickknacks and everything. So if you can't tell, Oshawott is absolutely my favorite Pokemon. We've got Sleeping Oshawott back there. Got a little tin from where they released Oshawott as a starter in Pokemon Legends Arceus. And then even this very funny Oshawott is dressed up kind of like a takoyaki ball. Not sure why that exists, but it's adorable. Alright, that's going to be the end of this video, gamers. Thanks for checking out my game collection. Until next time, keep gaming.